just wanna say thank you. Thank you. I don't look like what I've been through. I'm forgiven, I've been made new. For your goodness, I'm so grateful. I just wanna say thank you. Thank you. From day one.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mike Robinson, and this is another episode of Let's Take a Walk. We are on a little bit earlier, but this is a special occasion. These three young ladies that you see, you're probably saying to yourself, we just saw them a couple of weeks ago. You're absolutely right, and we are back. So what? No, really. Last time we were together, there was a little bit of technical difficulties, so we are going to do this again because they are definitely worth doing it again. And I definitely have more questions for these young ladies. So again, like I said, for those of you who may not be familiar with the Beard Sisters, I'm going to give them a moment to kind of reintroduce themselves and just give a little background on who they are and some of the things that they have going on. So with that being said, you guys have the floor.
Hi, this is Angie.
This is Tanya.
And this is April.
And we're the Beard Sisters.
Yep.
Yes, and we're out of Memphis, Tennessee. We are independent artists,
Yes.
Gospel artists. We have been singing together for 17 years. We are biological sisters.
Mm-hmm.
The way we said our name is the order of our birth. And we love God. We love music. We love good music.
Mm-hmm.
We love God with all our hearts. And we love being independent artists. It is a task to do when you're the artist and you're the fan in certain situations, but it is a great thing to be the artist and the fan. So keep that in mind. Never lose that fan love.
That's right.
For those gospel artists that are national artists, and the Beard Sisters represent that. We at concerts just like y'all are.
That's
That's
right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, you just definitely said a mouthful there. We just really gonna pick up where we left off. Listen, one of the good things about what happened was it gave me a little bit more time to kind of really study your music and listen to some of the things that you have done. You guys are truly amazing artists.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And I can tell that you guys are sisters because you're musically, you guys are just so tight. It sounds like one person.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. But with that being said, it's one thing to minister at your church, your local assembly, locally, with family and people that you know, your loved ones and everything like that. But it's a whole totally different thing when you talk about taking your music nationally. Somebody in California or somebody in Texas or South Dakota you want them to listen to your music. But you're also, like you said, you guys are fans. So is it a challenge for you, or how much of a challenge is it for you to not do what's popular musically and stick to what the Beard Sisters do? How hard is it to stick to your formula? I guess is what I'm asking.
I'm going to tell you, I don't know for us if I would say it's hard. Like you said, I know it's going to be challenging. We understand that. But our main thing, we always tell people, we probably not your typical group. So we're not going to always do things that's trending or maybe popular, but we go with what we hear God is telling us to do and what he's telling us to release in that time, in that season. So a lot of times everybody else can be doing something, but if he hasn't okay us to do it, we probably won't do it. We believe in sticking to what he's told us to do, and the people are going to be blessed if you follow and be authentic of what God has told you to do.
That's it. I was gonna piggyback and tell you hit it. We've always said our goal is to be authentically you, to be authentic in who we are. And so being authentic means I may not go with the trend. And sometimes I may. Look, it all depend on what that trend is. But
Right.
more importantly, it's best to be authentic, be who God had placed and created you all to be.
Yeah.
And that's what we do.
Right.
Absolutely. So last time we talked, um, I made mention of the Clark sisters, and we talked about the Pace sisters and things of that nature. Do you ever feel like people are expecting that from you? Like, do you ever feel the weight of expectation to be like them or to come off like them?
There are times when the expectation, thank you, sis, is there. But at the end of the day, we are so centered on
Yeah.
being us. We're gonna be us. Now, there are times when those things are gonna kick in because
Mhm.
that's what we grew up on.
Right.
Right. People in my era,
Yeah.
in our era, we grew up on the Clark sisters. You grew up on the
Mhm.
Pace sisters. You grew up on Trinity 5-7. You know, you got all these different groups, the
Mhm.
Winans, BB and
Good
CC.
witness.
Yes,
BB
Witness.
and CC,
So you
yeah.
got all these different people that you grew up on. So musically speaking, that's in the back of your head, whether
Mhm.
you aim to be like that or not. It's in the back of your head. So before you know it, those are the songs and things that you humming, and a little bit of their sway and this, that
Mhm.
sass that they have,
Mhm.
and that Holy Ghost that's in there,
It
it's
comes
gonna
out.
come out of you. So we always endeavor to be us, but what you grow up on is gonna come out. We're gonna
Right.
leave it like that.
It helps influence. It
Yes.
helps influence.
Yes.
Okay, so okay, segue right into that. If who would you say is your biggest influence? And I want you guys to answer this individually and collectively. Who would you say that your greatest influence is? Because I don't know, maybe you guys have different
Mhm.
people that you like. So
No, you go.
You
So
go.
I would say for me, I can't just say one big influence. I do have a mix, as Andrew just said. Fred Hammond, the Clark
Mm.
sisters, Witness, Trinity 5-7, look, Mary Berry. The list goes on and on. Personally, from a gospel standpoint, because that's what we grew up listening to, and John P. Key, my God, those have been some of, for me, biggest influencers. Kurt Franklin, especially with me being a writer, I love their penmanship, and so those individuals are big influences that help what I'm listening to. Daryl Coley, look, James Moore. I'm listening to James Moore every week still.
okay, taking it back. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and look, we like old school, new school. It's a mix. Ricky Dillard, choir music. It's a mix, honestly, where I can say for myself individually, that are my biggest influences.
And I think too, oftentimes people may wonder based off the music, but also I'm a big person on I look at your character.
Right.
So hands down, I love CC Winans.
Yes.
I just love her pure spirit,
Mhm.
the pure anointing that she has, the no compromising in the industry. So I just love there gotta be a top influence for me
Yeah.
because I love that she can sing, but she equally has a good spirit naturally.
Right.
And that's just from us looking, from a distance.
okay.
Oh, for me, Fred Hammond is like my all-time favorite
Me too.
gospel
Me too.
artist. I got so many, but he's like my
She loves
all-time favorite. I love Fred Hammond. He is a variety of music. Is music that reaches your spirit, is biblically based. And that means a lot to me as well. When you're listening to music, when you're going through situations, you want something that'll reach someone's heart, reach their mind. I want them to know Jesus is a miracle worker. I want them to trust God. I want them to know that we're living to go towards heaven. So Fred Hammond and his biblical based teaching and writing and songs have just been miraculous for me.
Mhm.
And of course, Walter Hawkins,
Yeah.
Andre Crouch, those people, That's what got us here today.
Right.
It's that foundation
They
music.
paved
That
the way.
foundation music, it holds you up when you need it the most.
Okay, awesome. So okay, so I see a lot of similarities, especially like the Fred Hammonds of the world. So I was gonna ask, like, what's your creative process? Like, who's the writer, who's the arranger, or do you all do a little bit of that?
That would be me. So
Okay.
I most of the time I'm the one that's doing the writing if
Mhm.
we're doing original music, and a lot of the arrangers arranging as well. However, collectively while we singing, we each may hear something different and be like, oh y'all, let's try it like this, or let's add this to it. So I think we all bring in the collectiveness of the arrangements, but a lot of the time the writing and arrangement will be me. And I'm thankful for that that they want to sing my music
So when did you start writing? Like, when did you
since
really
a child.
discover it?
Literally, I was 4 or 5 years old making up songs. Literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when did you feel like you were, I guess, I hate to say good enough, but when did you feel like you were ready? Put it that way.
Honestly, I still don't feel that way. Honestly,
Really?
honestly, I what I do is I do what God has called me to do, but I still always say there's still room to grow. So for me, I would never probably ever be like, oh, okay, this is it, because I still smile when people compliment my song. I still smile when they say, oh, this did. My grandmother literally just sent a message to me and my sisters. She's 86 now, currently in the hospital, and she was telling my dad, make sure you tell the girls Miracle Worker did something for me. My heart burst.
Wow.
It's my grandmother. It's my 85-year-old grandmother saying
Wow.
that this song ministered to her. So for me, I would say I don't know if I ever get to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I just go and do because he said do it. And we collectively pray and say, okay, y'all, should we do my song? Should we do this song? Should we do that? And then we do it. And my goal is to keep listening to God and writing out and singing out what he gives me.
Okay, so how much music do you listen to? That's not your own. And the reason why I ask you that is, it kind of piggybacks off the question that I asked earlier. Like, can you listen? Is it possible to listen to too much other music, especially when you're an artist yourself? Is that something is that a challenge for you?
For me, honestly, it's not tough at all. I'm gonna tell you, a lot of times I may listen to other people and not listen to ours. And sometimes when I'm because we're music people, and especially me, everybody they get tired of me. I sing all day. It's just there. And I'm listening to music most of the time throughout the day. So I can listen to other people's music, no problem at all. And then some days, yeah, I want to hear music.
Does it? Well, what I mean is, can a person listen to too much music to the point where it affects your creativity?
Right. Yeah.
So honestly, I don't think so. Well, I'm gonna say for me, no, because that music is what God gave them, or I hope God gave. For me, my music, what God gives me. So it doesn't matter how much other people's music I'm listening to. When God gives me a song, I pull up my phone, I put up the voice recorder, I start singing. It doesn't change it doesn't take away anything from me listening to somebody else creatively, because creatively, God is giving me what he wants April to have.
Right. Okay. Awesome. And on the last interview, you were saying that you ladies are from the Kojic background. Now, as I'm sure that you know, the Kojic denomination gets a lot of attention, to say the least. Some good, some not so good.
Mhm.
but it is what it is. Point blank. Does being Kojic influence the music that you create at all? Like, you may come up with something and you think to yourself, oh, I don't know if that's going to fit in with the Kojic format, I guess, for lack of better words. Like, does being Kojic affect your creative process, have an influence over your creative process?
No,
Nope.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say no.
above all else, I believe
Yeah.
the only influence that we would say it may have on creativity is to make sure that you keep it biblical based
Mhm.
Mm.
and make sure that it's really Jesus music.
Mhm. Right.
And I'll leave it like that.
Yeah.
We if you represent Christ and we're gospel singers,
Mhm.
you want to make sure that people feel and hear gospel.
That's
Right.
right.
And I believe that may be the only influence that it may have. But creativity, no.
Mm-mm. Yep.
Creatively, we singers, we women of God. That's all we using when we go to do music to
Mhm.
create whatever God gives us on any platform.
Yeah.
Awesome. We talked last time about one of your most memorable moments, and I believe Angela, you were talking about. I believe it was you that was talking about singing at Bishop Winans church. That was like the most memorable moment for you. What was so memorable about that moment?
Well, it was a friend of ours church,
Mhm.
and it was
Speak.
their pastor and
Anniversary.
wife
Mhm.
anniversary season,
Mhm.
and he was the speaker that they had to come in. What was most memorable is this is who I grew up listening to. You know, when you're
Mm.
growing up, music and being an artist wasn't our dream. It wasn't our goal. So to hear music on the radio and to see this man on TV, you growing up say, "Oh my God, look at him!" and "Oh, they sing so good." And the Winans family is just
Amazing.
yeah,
That's amazing.
they're like a staple for gospel music. So to be able to sing in front of someone who literally is my ideal of when I think gospel music, that's one of the people to come in mind. That's life changing.
Yeah.
And to see his the way he perceived us and the way he received us
Right.
that's life changing. You can't buy that. You can't buy that for someone that you literally grew up loving
Mhm.
to stand up into once they're finished hearing you sing, I felt God.
Right.
That's life changing.
Right.
Wow. So who would you say who would you say is the Beard Sisters' dream collaboration?
It's on you.
Oh my God.
Right.
Well,
Oh Lord.
number one would have to be the Clark sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Mhm.
I would say after that, we would love to do something with Kim Burrell.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah, just
Yes.
you know, it's so many greats, but I think those are like the top two right now that I can think of.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I would love to hear that. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't be able to tell you guys apart because you guys are so tight. You're so tight. Oh my God. The oil. No.
Or William Murphy.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my God.
That would be
Yeah.
good.
We
We
love
are
William
praise and
Murphy.
worship. We love praise and worship.
That would be
Mhm.
So Bishop William Murphy, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about Memphis, Tennessee gospel music scene. What is it like? Like, you know, what is that energy like? What is the energy like there? Or the spirit of Memphis, Tennessee gospel music?
Well, wow, Memphis.
Major.
We always say when people always ask us,
Yep,
y'all from
major.
Memphis, and we tell them yes, people you know, a lot of times because they love to talk about Memphis with the crime and
Mhm.
either crime or
Or
barbecue.
Mhm.
But we have that they always do that. But we have some of the best gospel artists.
Yes, we
I
do.
always say it's amazing the talent
Yeah.
that's in our city. And I always tell people that it's gonna always be some people that can sing. And our thing is we just like to support and push and tell everybody, yeah, we from Memphis, but we got some other great singers here as well. So we love our Memphis music scene. It's amazing. Then people always talk about B.B. King and Elvis Presley, but the gospel is outstanding.
Yes.
Wow. You guys are not far from well, I don't know because I'm not from Tennessee. But how about how far are you from Nashville?
Oh yeah, 3 hours.
3 hours, yeah, about 3 hours.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. Yeah, I've been to Nashville. I went to Nashville a few years ago. It was pretty nice. What was there a temptation to go to? Was there ever a temptation to go to Nashville? I mean, because they call that like the gospel Hollywood, I guess you could
The
say.
Music City. Yeah, it's Music City.
Ooh, well, I don't know if it's temptation, but we talk about Nashville all the time, even currently, because we're there all the time. Like Dove is in a couple of days. So we love Nashville. You might as well say it can be a second home. We're always there for either singing or just anything. So I don't know if it's temptation, but we really like it.
Okay. I mean, and when I say temptation, I mean because the gospel music industry is so rich there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a person moving to Atlanta to do a record deal
For
or
music, right.
you know what I'm saying? So like, was there ever, a situation where you felt like, man, we should go to Nashville? That's where it's popping at. We need to go there.
Yeah.
Was there ever a thought to do that?
We kind of say that now.
To be honest,
Right now.
So you don't, right.
You never know.
You never know.
We kind of say that now sometimes. So it's not like a past conversation. We kind of talk on it now. So
Okay. I think I want doesn't CeCe Winans living?
yeah,
She does.
she does. Yes.
Oh, well, that is amazing. So are all three of you married? Families? What's the relationship statuses?
No,
going
we're
on?
not
not
married,
married.
and we don't have children as well.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Y'all see these eligible bachelorettes. Okay. All
Thank
right.
you. We appreciate that. Thank you.
So, okay, with you guys being single, how much influence does that have on your creative process? Like, if at all, like, do you think that you guys would be able to produce the way that you do or come forth the way that you do if you were married? I mean, I know that's pretty impossible to kind of speculate, but like,
So
does that being
we would say the prayer, because we're already doing this,
Mhm.
when spouses do come into play, I'm pretty positive God's gonna send the spouse that can handle that we're doing what we're
I
doing.
know that's right.
But of course, things of course will change because your spouse, you do have to have those types of discussions. Hey, we got to do this, or I got to do this. So we're not the type of women that's gonna say you're gonna do this and you're gonna let me do. No, we still know leadership. We still are keen to leadership and headship. And so those are the conversations, yes, that we will have with those spouses. But I don't believe that God would send anyone who's gonna try to deter from that.
Right.
Because we've already been doing this 17 years and you ain't showed up yet. So when you show up, of course, we're gonna bring you in those kinds of conversations. Like I said, because we are respectful to headship, but I don't think that would change a lot of the creative process. But yeah, there may, of course, naturally may have some concern stuff. I can't go sing in California if my spouse and us have to do, you see what I'm saying? So those types of things, yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. It's kind of deep, so I want to give you a second to think about it. At this point in your career, and this question is for everybody. At this point in your career, what's the hardest thing for you not to do at this point in your career?
The hardest thing I think not to do is to play out where you want things to go or how the past may
That's
have
good,
been.
Ann.
You know, a lot of times you're looking at life and how you're going. So you're like, okay, I'm at this place.
Mhm.
And with me being at this level, where should I be here? Or should I did this different? Or should we proceed in this? Or should we pull back on that? So I think the hardest thing to do sometimes is not to try to plan it out or figure out should we or should we not with various different things. Should you make that gig? Should you be at that performance? Do I need to make an appearance? Well, let me look at this. And then not make the move, and you never know what door
Right.
or what opportunity
True.
is there. So
True.
it's the playing the
Yeah.
mind game
That's a good
of
one.
opportunities, when to go and when not. I think that's the hardest thing not to do.
Yeah. And I was second on at this season, like we said, since we've been singing about 17 years now, not to quit, I believe, at this point. Because you know, if you're looking to be at a certain say we thinking, well, I feel we should be here by now. And then at this point, I know if you've been singing this long, we're doing anything for this length of time. If you haven't seen the progress that you feel you should see, a lot of time people be like, well, we just gonna throw in the towel. We did good while we tried. But I think at this point, just to keep going and not to quit, not to give up, and know, like Andrew was saying, whatever opportunity or open door that come, you take it and don't be afraid to take it.
You want to try answering that as
I
well?
stayed with theirs.
Okay. We go. Okay, so everything else I asked you, that was the warm up. That was the warm up. We about to talk about a couple of deep subjects right here. So get ready, okay? Especially since y'all some single ladies, okay? So, back in the days, gospel music was there was a certain process that went along with it. We were conditioned to be a certain way. The artists looked a certain way. They sounded a certain way. You even only use certain instruments. So fast forward to now, the artists look a lot different. The hairstyles are different. The colors is more color, brighter colors and different, styles and different, things and stuff like that. Not to mention, more so the women than the men, but not to mention, and particularly our women of color. Our women are traditionally more curvy, more, and so the imaging, I've talked to a few artists on this platform, and I've asked them this question, as far as how you look. And I've heard everything from one person saying, minimum is the best. I don't wear no jewelry. I don't wear no makeup. I put on a t-shirt and or just a simple thing, whatever. I don't, because I'm representing God and whatever. But then on the flip side of that, you have people that'll say, hey, listen, I wear my Gucci if I got it, my Prada if I got it, my Balenciaga if I got it, Louis Vuitton, whatever the case. I wear my jewelry, whatever. And I'm doing that because they'll say I'm representing God. You know what I'm saying? And God blessed me. And I'm trying to portray a God that in the blessing business, and this is what he can do. He did this for me. So I can do this. He'll do it for you. Not to mention going back to the whole curvy thing. You have, women of color, they're more curvier and things. And so no matter really what they wear, sometimes it still accentuates certain aspects. So with that being said, how do you guys navigate that whole imaging thing? Because you want people like, oh, you don't want to look too old, but then you don't want to look too young, but you want to be in style, but you don't want to be too revealing, that whole back and forth. So how do the Beard sisters navigate that whole thing?
Well, I'm a
stylist.
Yeah.
Go stylist.
I about to say I'm a fashion lover. And I get that attribute from my mother. We love fashion. We love the accessories and everything that go on with it. And we are all plus size women, full figure women, but we are all built differently.
Right.
So when I am coming up with different outfits and looks for us to wear for various different events, I'm taking into account for all of us to be comfortable in presenting in our best look. Whenever you out, you want to look your very best. Whatever that looks like to you, that's what it represents.
That's right.
But I'm also a jewelry consultant. I sell jewelry. So we're going to be in our jewelry. We're going to be in our extensions or your curls or your April wears her hair short. So she might have a flip look or a wavy look. We're going to put out the best April, Angela, and LaTanya.
Right.
That's right.
Hence, you're going to get the best of the Beard sisters that we can get because we don't feel we ought to look nothing less because we're God's children.
That's right.
So we're going to look at our best.
That's
if
right.
you catch us on a minute when we ain't looking at our best, something done probably broke down and we had to make it do what it do.
Right.
But we're going to present the best because we represent the best. We represent God.
Right.
Do you take into account though, like, do you think about how you're being received? Like people might look and say, okay, that, they're trying to look a little bit too worldly or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, does that ever cross your mind or you just?
Well, yeah, because most of all, for the most part, we always say people gonna say what they gonna say. We try our best not to, offend people, but even when you try not to offend people, they can be offended. So I always say, long as we're not uncomfortable in what we wear or the color we have, or if my nails too long or this color too bright, as long as we're not offending what we feel if God is pleased, we're pleased. If we think he pleased, that's all we can ask for. Because I tell people, you will be, going around in circles forever trying to.
You're not gonna be able to please it.
You ain't gonna be able to please everybody. So you just got to be the best version.
Decency and in order.
Right.
We do.
Right.
There you go. That's
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay. All right. So y'all did all right on that one. I'm gonna go. Y'all did all right. Hey. Let's talk about honorariums. Let's talk about that. That's another question that I'm always interested to hear how artists think. I feel like it's a unique situation for Christian artists because we walk by faith. We're conditioned to walk by faith, not by sight. We're conditioned to trust God. We're conditioned to look to God from which, look to the hills from which cometh our help. Our help cometh from the Lord. You know what I'm saying? However, when you are accepting engagements and things of that nature, what's your take, or what's the Beard sisters' opinions on artists being compensated for doing events? There are some who believe that they shouldn't be. And then there are some who will say, I've spoken to some artists that will say, yes, I have an honorarium because if I don't, they won't have one. You know what I'm saying? So I have to keep them honest, talking about the church. or you know, whomever they're doing business with. How do the Beard sisters feel when it comes to that
Music industry is what? A business.
business, right?
It's a business.
Right.
So it's ministry and it's business.
Right.
So any person who works is due their due.
That's right.
And that's how we feel about it.
Right.
Now, with different events, different situations, we have someone who handles that for us. But everything requires a payment. I pay when I have to go get my nails done.
Right.
I pay when I'm going to get a meal. I pay my tithes and offering because I owe that to God. So when the person is up ministering, whether they're delivering the word or singing a song of praise, and you ask them to come and usher that in, and you want them up there 20 minutes or 15 minutes or whatever the case is for whatever event,
Right.
that artist, that person, whether they're artists, they consider themselves an artist or not, they're due some type of due.
Right.
So that's only proper
Mhm.
because this is ministry, but yet it is music industry. It's a business.
Absolutely.
That's
And
right.
you know, when you have like we do fundraisers, outreach, sometimes it's still always a discussion.
Right.
Because I think sometimes people get artists confused. You got artists out there that won't charge you know, a certain amount for certain events.
Yeah.
It depends on what it is,
Right.
whether it's sponsorships or fundraisers or whatever it is. We've went in before a young lady, her son, I think, was hit
Yeah.
by a car, and they were trying to raise money,
Right.
and she was just so outdone. She was just amazed that we showed up. We sung for them, you know, hugged and everything, and she was like, I can't believe you all didn't do that for money or da da da. But God tells you, because like Angie said, it's music ministry.
Right.
We understand that it's a ministry, it's a business, but it's sometimes you never know. If God say just go in there and bless the people, we go in there and bless the people.
We obey him first.
We obey him first.
Right.
Okay, that's amazing. Yeah, you know, like I said, I get so many. You'll be surprised at so many, the diverse group of answers that I get when I ask that question. You know, some people, like you said, like to your point, some people don't charge at all, and then there are some people who will not go unless they charge. You know, they will not go. So that's very interesting. Can y'all tell me who is Kiwan Person? Kiwan Person. Y'all know who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's our guy.
Easy.
Oh, the one that rap.
That's the rapper.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Oh,
And just
No.
No, Ed, he wants
Yeah.
and
to know. Lie.
and said he can't be.
We do know
added.
him though. He's a gospel rapper,
Independent rapper. Yeah.
rapper here in Memphis. We do
Yeah.
know who he is.
Okay. He was like, "Can y'all add me to the line?" I thought that might have been your manager or something. Like,
No.
nah, let me answer that question. Okay. So, I only got a couple more questions. What would y'all say is the most common misconception that people have about y'all?
Probably that we're too tough, maybe. Because we've been professing Christ for a lengthy time. Sometimes, you know, when people think you just sanctified, they can sometimes be scared of you, or like, oh, them girls ain't gonna do that. Them girls ain't coming here. So once they finally meet us and get to know us, they were like, oh my God, y'all like the family we never knew we needed. Or people don't know we love to laugh and have a good time. Like Angie was saying earlier, we're gonna always present ourselves the best way we need to present ourselves, but we like to get down and have fun too. So
let me backtrack a little bit. Which you get back to you guys being single. So what is that like being artists? Like what's the type of reception that do you find that men are may be intimidated by you because you guys are artists and you kind of have a name in the city and you're doing what you're doing or whatever. What's this dating scene? If you want to share, I'm strictly on you if you want to answer that question or not. But what's the
consensus, and we're not sharing much, but the consensus is, it's always different when you're viewed in the public.
Right.
So everybody's going to perceive you
It's
differently. All of us are naturally educated. We all have degrees.
Okay.
And generally speaking, so as a man, what is it that when most men, when y'all find out a woman has various different things going on, a lot of times men take independent women as women who don't want certain things. So a lot of times it's the man's perception of what they think the woman wants without really asking.
Right.
Just because she's independent or taking care of herself, if I don't take care of myself, who is?
Right.
Because until God send whoever gonna take the job and take it completely by wifing, a boyfriend is a boyfriend.
Right. Right.
But a husband is another thing.
Yeah.
So until you have that husband who is required under God's law to take care of their woman, is she not supposed to take care of herself? So typically, a lot of times it's men's perception of what's what, and that makes it difficult, I feel, for all women. The artist just takes it to a different level.
Right.
So that's generally.
Okay. Do you approach, or are you the one that believes that
He that findeth a
He
wife.
that find it. That's right. That's right. Yes, he that find it. No approach over here.
I knew she was gonna say that too.
You had it right. He that findeth. I feel that if you, this is my perception on that, and we got to get out of here tonight. But my perception of that, and I can probably speak for me and my sisters on that. We are raised with our father, and like I told you before, in our previous interview, we are PKs. So with that being said, our pastor, daddy, and mama, and us being preachers, teachers of the word ourselves, we're taught a certain way. And I feel that if a man approaches you, that was his choice.
Right.
If you as a woman approach a man,
It may not be.
he might be doing something out of sympathy or feeling some kind of way, and he's doing it, and it ain't really what he want. If you want it, you will go for it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's why I said he that findeth the wife. Let him approach. If he like it, come on. If you don't, then you don't.
Right.
And that way nobody feels, no type of obligation. Because I do understand there are a lot of good men out there who, if certain things are presented to them, they feel obligated. But that don't mean that's
They
heart's
like it.
desire.
Right.
Right.
I feel a man and a woman both should have their heart's desire, not
Right.
just the woman. He should too. So if you want it, go for it.
Right.
If you don't, you
Don't.
find not.
Yeah.
And that's respect.
That is.
That's a fact. Okay. All right. That's a good answer. Okay. All right. I haven't been able to get y'all tonight. So okay. All right. This is my final question. This is a question that I ask all my guests. So I want you guys to think about it and give me the most honest and transparent answer that you can possibly give me. Okay. So the question is, what would have to happen in your life, if it hasn't happened already, for you to consider your life a success? What does success look like for each of you specifically?
Hey, you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So success for me is literally being comfortable, not just from a music standpoint, of personal as well. But success is looked at as so many different things in different aspects. Success for me is comfortability, being able to smile in the midst of pain. And, we go through pain and circumstances, period, and we still have to smile for certain things. But being able to just have unspeakable joy for me is success. Success is not measured by, oh, we're up here, I don't want that, as a combination of success. If I get it, okay, but that doesn't dictate my success. Success for me is I got joy, I can smile. I can do what I want. When I say, if I want to travel to Zimbabwe, I'm going to Zimbabwe. Or if I want to go down the street and give to the homeless, which we do, blankets and food. Oh, we had success. So for me, success may look a little different when you hear the word success. For me, that's my success. Success is not, oh, we just got a Grammy. Oh, I just got $1 million. If those things come, am I gonna say I don't want it? Of course not. Yes, thank you, God. I appreciate it. But that doesn't dictate success for me.
Right.
So that's my answer.
And I believe also, from my perspective, success is measured in different steps in your life. We've already had some successful moments and seasons, but I learned a long time ago, just having a conversation with God, that I don't know if I will be alive to know how successful I am. Oftentimes you can measure success when a person is gone. So my thing is to do all I can now, because people may not tell you you're successful. Everybody may have a certain standard that they gonna judge you on to whether they say you successful, but that don't mean you haven't succeeded in God's eye. So my thing is do what I can do, help as many people as God allow me to help. Then when I'm gone, those people left behind can measure whether I'm successful or not, or was she successful.
Awesome. Awesome.
For me, I think the measure of success for me would be to experience some of my heart desires, to truly see my heart's desires manifested. I think that would be the level of success. Like April said, your heart's desire could be just to wake up one day and you waking up in Hawaii.
Right.
Or Turks, to wake up in Turks may be one of the levels of success. But I think for me to see my level of success would be just to experience my heart's desires. There may not be, like April was saying, to be a Grammy winner or a Stellar winner or a millionaire. But if I'm a successful business person, my business is doing well. My family is well.
Hey, girl.
Hey, Los. My family is doing well. The people that I'm concerned with, people that I know, they're doing good. That's success for me.
Right.
When we're doing good and we loving good and people are smiling and feeling good and I'm feeling good, we're feeling good in our bodies, that's success. My measure of success have changed now that I'm the age that I am than what it was 10, 20 years ago. 20 years ago, this ain't success to me. 10 years ago, it might not be. But at this point in my life, success is being able to see my family, being able to even see you and do this interview today. That's appreciative. Appreciation is a lot of the success for me nowadays. So when God do those little things, the big things are just major.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That is amazing, guys. I like I was telling you guys offline, even though we had kind of a rough time the first time we sat down together, you guys are the most viewed by far, I might add, the most viewed interview that I've done since I've been doing this. And I've been doing this since 2020.
Wow.
So this is the most viewed interview that I've done. And I think this interview is probably on par to probably be that. But ladies, I thank you so much for coming on. I know that you guys have things to do. Last thing, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you to, I don't know, whatever, try to get you to come to their event, or maybe they want you to kind of be more specific about something that you said on here. Maybe they're trying to get your number, shoot the shot. How can they get in touch with the Beard Sisters?
Yes, so you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, the Beard Sisters. YouTube, The Beard
Everything's The
Sisters.
Beard Sisters.
So everything is
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
The Beard Sisters. Our website is www.thebeardsisters.com. Oh, my girls. So just put in The Beard Sisters, you're going to find us.
Awesome, you guys. It was definitely a pleasure to sit down with you ladies. I definitely it was fun. I genuinely can say that. I really had fun sitting down with you ladies, and I wish that we that we had longer, but you guys are amazing. You guys
Thank you.
Not just musically, but as people. You guys are, I can genuinely feel the friendliness.
Oh, thank you
You
so much.
That means a lot.
You guys are amazing. And
Thank you.
and if you were thinking about stopping, y'all need to cut it out. Y'all need to
Oh,
don't even do it. Don't even play yourself like
You
that.
said, don't quit.
Keep it
Don't
real
quit.
Don't quit. Don't even play yourself, because
Y'all
we
go
need
back. Call us so dumb.
you.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah. But again, thank you again. Can y'all sing for me real quick?
Before we try to sing something, we might like April Home. Shout out to all our Facebook fam that's on there. Hey, Sam,
everybody.
Cheryl, Carlos Hale. He is one of the greatest promoters.
Yes.
He's
Urban Soul Cafe.
he's everything.
Yeah,
He's
thank you, Carlos.
He's on with you tonight. So he's
Yeah,
Yes,
we
that's
love
him.
Carlos.
so
That's him.
he's top
He's
notch at what
crazy
he
too.
do. Shout out to all you guys.
PJ,
Philip and
thank y'all.
Thank y'all so much
Oh,
for joining in.
Awesome.
Yeah,
okay, do it
of
there.
course.
We're going to sing a little bit of
Okay.
Press It Work.
Just cool. Monday, we held it together, and
Wednesday, we had stormy weather, and Friday, we prayed it all better, and Sunday, we heard good news.
Monday, we held it together, and
Wednesday, we had stormy weather, and Friday, we prayed it all better, and Sunday, we heard good news.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You guys are amazing. Do you guys have anything coming up? As far as events coming up?
yeah, we'll be in
we are.
Texas,
Yeah.
Dallas, Texas, November 4th, the first Saturday. November 4th, we'll be at Dallas, Texas.
Yeah.
It is at Lady Wonder Bell's event.
Mhm.
So if you're following us on social media, just watch it on the page because y'all ain't got the right address. But I do
Right.
know it's Antioch Church
That's right.
in Dallas, Texas.
Yep.
Please, if y'all have any flyers or anything, please shoot them to me. I'll post them on my page as well.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Absolutely. Ladies, I thank you. I know that the hour is far spent, and I kind of kept you past the time that you said, so please forgive me for that. But consider this an open invitation anytime that you want to promote something, anytime you want to talk about something, anytime you want to come on here and sing if you want to. Just let me know, and I'll make it happen.
Thank you
so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you.
I thank you, and I wish you much blessings on everything that you have going on, and even the things that you haven't thought of yet.
Yeah.
Thank
Same
you.
to you. Thank
Appreciate you.
All right, you guys have a great night and a great weekend.
Okay,
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
There you have it, guys. That's the first interview of the night. We have the awesome, the mighty, the amazing miracle worker Beard Sisters. I like I told them, I had a blast sitting down with them. They are so funny. They're so real. They are so just. They got it, like really. Before I go into my next interview, I hope you guys follow me into my next interview. I want to encourage you. You know, if you got a plan, God gives you a vision. God gives you something that you need to that he wants you to do, you need to go out and do it. He is the source that provides the resource. So don't worry about where the money is coming from. Don't worry about where the equipment is coming from. Don't worry about where the time is going to come, who's going to support you. Just go and do what God is sending you to do. And I thank everybody. Shout out to everybody who chose to watch this live interview, as well as the people who watch the playback. I truly appreciate it. Please watch on YouTube as well. We're trying to get the subscribers up, so please hit the subscribe button, that notification bell. Type Let's Take a Walk featuring the Beard Sisters in the search engine, and just hit that subscribe button and watch. Please share with a friend or 2 or 10. Please do. And again, I thank you and I appreciate you for everything that you guys have done. I couldn't do this without you. Thank you again. All right.